I am Cynthia Blue, author of the lessons live on Jerry Royce Live.
Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and welcome to Jerry Royce Live on positivepower21.org. I am the voice of Jerry Royce, and when it's all positive, it's all power. That's Positive Power 21. And ladies and gentlemen, today's sponsors are Queen Z Production. Queen Z Production is producing a play in Baltimore this Saturday, the 19th, called Taking It Back, and it's written by Zenobia Sampson, and she's actually a celebrity makeup artist, but some kind of way she found a way through God's spirit to write this play. Her general admission is $15. You can contact her on Facebook.com as Zenobia Sampson. Doors open at 4 p.m. It's on Liberty Heights, 4801. I think it's a senior community center. And this is going to be on the road, so it will be coming to a town near you, okay? And also for those of you that check us out from the UK, she's also planning to bring the show over to Europe, okay? And if you need to contact her, you can contact her at 614-214-6589, 614-214, or maybe I should say it like that, 614-214-6589, okay? And we want to thank Pamela Samuel Young, author of Anybody's Daughter, and she authored a book called Kinky's Corley, a natural hair resource guide. And you can reach her at her official website at PamelaSamuelsYoung.com. And you can Google her too and bring up everything. Have you ever received good advice that you were unable to follow? Has your doctor ever recommended a lifestyle change that you found to be unsustainable? Have you ever wanted something in your life but found you couldn't achieve it alone? Well, contact PurpleRoseHolisticHealth.com. They will personalize a program that will radically improve your health and your happiness. But that'll be more. Contact her for a free initial consultation. That's right, free initial consultation. And again, her contact information is PurpleRoseHolisticHealth.com. All right. And thank you all the book authors who've been on positivepower21.org, the Jerry Royce Live Show the last week or two. Special thanks to Hazel Cartwright for Emerald Eyes of the Sea, Single Therapy. That's 2 books. Also, we want to thank Frank Brown Jr. He was on the show earlier today. He's a lifestyle coach, and he's coming out with a self-help books sometime this winter. But if you're looking for a personal coach, you can go to frankbrownjr.com. We want to thank Slice. She has a book called Dream Killers that will be released this fall. Larry Moon Jr., beautiful story. Oh, man, he told a great story. You have to check out Larry Moon Jr. on Positive Power. He has a book out called Honey is Thicker Than Water, and he has several other books that he's moving to that's part of a series, okay? And I didn't write that down, but he does have a series out there. All right, and C.G. Farmers. That's C-E-G-I, Farmer. She's author of a children's book, Adventures of Delilah Daisy. And she's on tour. So if you're interested in having C.G. come out to a school near you or several schools in the area, contact her so she can have the book shipped out to you, and she will come out and read stories and autograph books and have fun with the kids. Awesome person, very awesome. And she has a very awesome story on her interview also, so check her out. We want to thank Mr. John Gibson, author of Winners. This book was set in the 1950s. This guy was awesome. He played basketball with the great Oscar Robertson. Now, a lot of people don't know who Oscar Robertson is, or young people. This guy came up with the triple-double. He was averaging triple-doubles before people like Allen Iverson and LeBron James and all those guys even thought about it. He was already doing it back in the 1950s. And his high school teams had went on to have undefeated season. One season they had one loss, and the following season They were undefeated, and then another team came along. I think they finally won a state championship, and they made a movie of those guys. But these guys were really, really good. They won state champions and everything, and some of those guys went on to even help start the Harlem Globetrotters. All right, so check that book out. You can check out John Gibson at Hoops Gibson. That's GIPSON at gmail.com. Again, that's Hoops Gibson at gmail.com if you're interested in ordering that book, Winners, and listen to that interview. It was awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, and that's enough for tonight. We're ready to bring our guests on. We've been communicating with her back and forth for a couple of weeks now, so we're excited to have her on. She's on Facebook under Cynthia Blue, G Princess Publishing. So if you want to check out her website, her Facebook site, she's right there. We have Cynthia Blue. We're on her Amazon page now. We're going to read her bio before we bring her on and talk to her. Cynthia Blue is a military brat and a native of Albany, Georgia. She is the oldest out of 2 children and the only daughter. She is single with no children. She graduated from Dougherty Comprehensive High School, and also Dougherty. Okay, Dougherty Comprehensive High School is also Savannah State University alumni with a BBA in Computer Information Systems. Oh, she's smart, sister. She started writing in the beginning of 2011 as a coping mechanism. In time, she found it to be her passion and decided to let it grow and blossom into a challenging, fulfilling career. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, the author of The Lesson, the great one, Cynthia Blue. How you doing tonight, Cynthia?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm awesome. We are awesome. Just so glad to have you. I had a long day today, as I communicated to you that we were at a leadership conference today, but we were still able to keep up with our guests, questions and all. Now, you have a pretty powerful opening for your biography. Graduate of a pretty good college with a degree in computer science. Sound like you're a smart young lady. And then you're penning erotica, romance, drama, thriller novels. So before we get into your book, we're going to talk about you for a little bit. So tell us something I know you didn't have a lot written there, but tell us a little bit about yourself that you would like your listening audience to know about.
Well, basically there's really nothing to tell, really. Well, I'm 28. Yes, I'll go ahead say my age. I'm pushing 30. Not ashamed. I'm a case registration agent for the Department of Children and Family Services in Albany, Georgia, and I've been working there since August of 2012.
Good. So you like your job?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. All right. So you have a full-time job. You graduate from college. Tell us exactly why you decided to become an author and why you chose this genre.
Well, basically, I graduated from Savannah State at the end of 2009, and basically after college, I was going through some personal issues that got worse, like the end of 2010 to around the middle of 2012. So basically, as I was said before, I started writing at the beginning of 2011. It was just a way to escape. Honestly, I never really pictured myself as a writer, let alone having it as a career. It was just something to escape my personal troubles. Mm-hmm. It was, so basically what I started doing was I was writing down my dreams, the ones I could remember, and, fantasies and personal experiences and stuff like that. And eventually it turned into stories, and then over time it just developed from there.
It did. Oh, but you're kind of young, so you're writing erotica. Now, people depend on erotica writers to heat things up in the bedroom. So now it sounded like you was in kind of a sad state at the time. So how did writing erotica kind of help you? I mean, are you in recovery with what you were going through? I mean, are you okay now? Where are you right now in your life?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm doing great now. Good.
All right, cool. Now, when you wrote the book, the lesson, I mean, were you writing the book, the lesson, when you was going through your personal situation?
Not really. It was like towards the end. Not really out of it, but I was almost out of it. Like, like in the process of, fixing everything.
Okay, so everything was getting fixed, but you were writing, but the lesson wasn't part of that
right,
part of your life. Okay, so that didn't happen till later. So where were you when you decided to write the lesson?
Where was I? Well, basically, I wrote that when did I write the lesson? I think it was last year, 2013, that I wrote the lesson.
And the lesson got picked up by G. Princess Publishing.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that. Where's that company at? Where are they? I don't know a lot about them.
It's based in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think how we found you through Larry Moon, and we appreciate that. And then Larry is out in this area. He's pretty much based. His company is based not too far from us. I'd say we're about 50 miles from Larry. So that was crazy how we were able to, to hook up with you. You have a very interesting cover. Now, so where were you? So you kind of came out of your rut, and you're ready to pen. Now, why you decide to pen the lesson versus penning a self-help book or penning something that can help somebody in another way, say a nonfiction book?
Well, basically the reason why I chose fiction was basically trying to get people to, which is the reason I started writing, like when people, are going through stuff, have a bad day, they just want to, escape. So I try to help my readers do that, like, just trying to find a story, like it can be crazy, not afraid to go there, or something that they can actually relate to, just to, just take them away from their problems, their issues, just for a couple of moments. You see?
Yeah. So you have been penning for a while. I mean, how long you been writing?
For a little over 3 years.
3 years. But so the lesson is not your first book.
Not the first book I've written.
But under G Publishing, it is. So it's your first.
Right. It's the first that's released by G Princess Publishing.
Mm-hmm. G Princess Publishing, that's right. So, what was the process of getting this book published? I mean, did you write it first and say, "Hey, I'm just going to share it with friends," or are you going to shop around because people thought it was good? What was the process like that for this book?
Well, basically, I wrote the lesson, and basically I was pitching other stores. It wasn't even the lesson that I was pitching to try to find a publisher, and that's how I found G Princess Publishing. But then they read the lesson. They wanted to read my other stories, and then they ran across the lesson, and they was like, "Oh, let's put this one out first because because of the meaning behind it, which we'll get into later."
Right. So that happened. So how did you feel? I mean, getting published. I mean, was it exciting?
Oh, yes, it was exciting. I was happy. It was good.
And like I said, you're pretty young. To be
Thank
published.
you so much for telling me that.
You're welcome. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being 30. Shoot, I had a ball at that age. No.
I'm 28. I'm 28. 28. Not 30 yet.
Okay.
Right. I'm 28.
But 30 is kind of like that age where, people kind of look at that being monumental in their life. I know I was 29 I was 20. Actually, I was your age when I decided it was time for me to settle down and get married. And I chose 29 to be that age that I wanted to make that move. So 30 was like I wanted to be married at 30. That was my whole thing. Being a man. That's what I said. It was the rest of the stuff was over. It was time for me to start a new chapter. I'm bored of the other stuff. Time to move on. And then I had also decided, it's time to move into a second career because I was in information technology. So you kind of, when you're young like that, do you think about where you want to be? I know women think about it a lot sometimes when it comes to families, their professional careers, and in your case, writing. Where was that in your thought process?
About, you mean trying to build writing as a career?
Yeah, where you wanted to be in your life. Did you say, okay, I want to be an established writer, I want to be working for a big, information technology company? Did you kind of mark your path? Did you plan it out?
Well, actually, to be honest, no, I really didn't, which is, getting back to when I started writing. As when people these days, my generation, graduating from college, it's kind of hard to find a job out there, especially in your field. So basically, that I was one of those people, and that was one of the reasons why I, got a little bit depressed, and then I started writing just to escape all of that because I felt like, where was my life going? I, tried to do this, it didn't work out, and then as I started writing, and I let one of my friends read one of my stories, and they was like, why don't you just, find a publisher and turn this into a career? And I just, ran with it. So I was okay, right. Why not?
Yeah.
So
good. All right. That was good. Good friend. You got to give your friends kudos for that advice. All right. All right. So now, you said your degree is in information technology, correct?
Computer information systems, yes. Mm-hmm.
Information. Now that's big, out up north, because we have a lot of government agencies, and systems people are kind of hard to find, especially now that everybody's big into cybersecurity and paperless environment, that kind of thing. Do you think it was because, the area you were in, it wasn't a lot going on? Because I think down in Georgia, engineering is big, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you got out of that. So was it because you found a job or the writing helped you?
Oh, the writing helped me. Yeah.
So you that good that your writing pulled you out of because most of the time people need medication.
Actually, I'm still working on the writing part. The place I'm working at is not in my field, but these days it's better than nothing. But I'm still, trying to build the writing as a career. Got a long way to go, but it's just got to maintain.
All right, I'm going to give you a job lead when we finish this call, okay? So let me ask you this first before I give it to you. Do you have a problem about moving up this way towards the Maryland, D.C. area?
Never.
The money's right.
Never thought of it, but hey, I'm open to new challenges, new experiences.
All right, good. So so when we finish this call, I'm going to give you a job lead, okay?
Okay.
Don't let me forget. Okay. Back to you. All right. Now, you're right. Now, again, why did you choose? What made you decide to choose erotica? I know you were in college, and we know how you college girls could be sometimes.
What?
What? Y'all know how y'all get y'all away from home. Now, were you on campus? Did you live on campus?
Yeah, I live on.
You did live on campus? You still there? I think we lost her. Yeah, she's on a wireless phone. I'm not going to say who it is, which company it is, but we'll wait till she dialed back in. All right, she was just about to say what the deal was. All right, her number is 229. Make sure I get her back.
Hello.
In here. Oh, you back? Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I'm back. Okay.
All right. So what's the okay? All right. Well, I guess what I'm asking is, of all the genres to write, because you said you was trying to come out of what you were in. What made erotica, or I guess romance, so intriguing for you to make that like your published book? Because I know how you got published, because your girlfriend recommended because you were good. But how did you get there? When you wrote this, where were you in your mind?
Well, basically, when I was writing, I didn't really have a genre in mind. I just basically wrote what's on my mind, being, spontaneous, not really thinking about it, just write what's on my mind, really. Just
now, I haven't
being
read
a free spirit.
Now I read the first couple chapters of this book, and it was really, really hot book. This had to be well thought out. The characters were very strong. You had very strong male characters. Your females were very central. They were selfish in so many ways. They knew what they wanted out of life. Your male characters knew what they wanted, but they were on the fence with a lot of their thoughts. It took a lot to think of this story. Now, did you go through a couple rewrites, or this just came? This prize book came out. Tell me.
Oh, I had to do a lot of work. It needed some work. So, yes, I rewrote it.
Okay, but your characters were still good. You just had to work on your storyline, I guess, because the characters are good. I really like your characters. And we're going to read your reviews, too. So we finish pulling some more out of who Cynthia Blue is, because the listening audience want to know, who is Cynthia Blue? I mean, erotica people, well, I ain't going to say people, erotica authors, you guys are very strong women. Met a few guys that write it, and they know where they are in life. They know where their place is. Cynthia Blue. Who is Cynthia Blue, the author? Who is she? Right now, after you release the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Who is she?
Who is she? Well, basically just the same person, really. Just, using her magic wand. That's my pet name for my pen to, try to make things happen. Yeah. Just trying to make things happen and entertain my readers. And I really, really appreciate it. I try to stay humble, because my readers, they're the reason why I kept pushing. Even though there were times down the road before I found G Princess Publishing that I wanted to give up and everything, when it came to being rejected from publishers, literary agents, getting to run around, being self-published. I was self-published all through 2013.
Right, it's not a very long time.
Yeah, right. That was last year. Oh, that was last year. And
young people don't have a lot of patience, so I guess that was a long time for you.
Okay, all right. So through it all, I had my readers. They were saying, "Oh, I like this. When you're going to come out with something else?" Like, really just anxious to see what I was going to write about next, and just motivated me to, keep going.
That's right. Now, Cynthia Blue. Now, do you use now, I know you told me, prior to the show that you're releasing the book in paperback soon. Right now, it's out there on ebooks. Now, how do you push your book? How are you finding your fan base right now? How are they finding you? What are your the resources are you using?
Just like everybody else, social media, word of mouth, family, friends, coworkers, just basically like everybody else. Well, from what I observed.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you guys are just following the same footprint that the other authors are using out there. Just that was funny when I was at this conference I was telling you about, this Black Leadership Conference. they had the communications director up. He's deputy commissioner for communications, and we was talking about some of the products, electronic services that the agency, is trying to get out there to the public. And government agencies are kind of a little bit playing in, they treading in unfamiliar waters when it comes to the social media, the internet. They were always big with like the internal websites and keeping everything in house. Very seldom do they really publish a lot on their websites. They're so bland. But now they have to use social media to connect with the public because the White House is asking for people to be transparent, right? The government to be transparent to the public because it's American dollars that run these things, right? So just to go to say all of that, this looks like they saying that you have to have a person, the viewer or your audience or your potential sales customer should see your advertisement at least 8 times. It takes 8 times before they will finally make a decision to say, oh, I know who they are now, or oh, I want to buy it, or I want to check it out. That's when they finally make the decision after seeing it like 8 times. And then you're talking about like TV, maybe magazine ads, billboards, they count them all, billboards on the train, billboards everywhere. And now with social media, everybody's being attacked with Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, and then you got some of the other ones out there too, because you find the same people travel in the same circles as your followers, but now you're just hitting them in all areas. Do you believe that to be true, that it takes almost 8 times before a person was decide to say, okay, I want to buy this, I want to take a look at it? What's your view on that?
Oh, yes, I believe it. Yeah.
Yep, that was a science fact too. That's what he told us, a scientific fact. So I was like, wow, thinking about, even us, we're in a position where, we knew, just like you, 2013, we came out the end of the year. It takes a while before you find your brand. Now, when it comes to names, now everybody have pen names. And what made you choose Cynthia Blue as your name? What fascinated with that?
Okay.
That's part of your brand, right? That's part of your brand, right?
Right. Okay. Blue is my favorite color, and Cynthia, when I was in the 1st grade, there was a girl in my class named Cynthia, and I always thought that was a beautiful name. That was my first time ever meeting somebody whose name was Cynthia, and I was like, oh, she has a pretty name. And then I was coming up when I was, writing and coming up with some kind of way, because I didn't really want to use my real name. So I was like, oh, let me use Cynthia. And then my favorite color was blue, so I was like, let me just mix that together. So.
It's a good name. It's a good brand. I like the brand. Now you got to put it together with your website and all that crazy stuff. But you plan to be around for a while, right?
Yes, I plan on it.
That's right. Good for you. All right. Now you got your name, the lesson. Now the lesson, I think I heard that title before. Maybe it's a movie. What intrigued you about that title, the lesson, that name?
Well, basically because, the main characters, they want to be in a teaching profession. Well, that's a minor point. Mm-hmm. Basically, the major point is that it's basically just educating the audience, letting the audience know, like, okay, yes, the couple, they're having, relationship issues, but there are better ways to deal with it than the way the main characters dealt with it. So, and then also, I have a character in there who's the cousin of the main character. Mm-hmm. Basically, back in his day, in his younger years, he's married. Well, he still is married. He wasn't exactly the best husband in the world. He constantly cheated on his wife and everything. And then one day, his wife, put her foot down, was like, okay, I had enough of this. I'm leaving. And then, it took months and months for them to get their marriage back on track. And now he's the ideal husband. So I made that character just to show, you know how some people saying that, oh, why are you going to take him back? Once a cheater, always a cheater. I wanted to show that that's not really the case. There are people that are, you know, capable and can be redeemed and capable of change, but at the end of the day, that's their choice.
Yeah, that's right.
But I wanted to show, that it can happen, that a guy can come from, you know, being a cheater to the ideal husband. So
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It can happen. That's right. He's just human. You know, he had to get something out. Now, we're going to talk about your book now. You got it started. That's good timing. You got some good reviews out there. You got some 5 stars, some 4 stars. You have Stewart says, one of the most interesting books I have ever read and most intensely introspective. That's a very deep word he used there. This was a fascinating, at times painful book to read. I really like Cynthia Blue. She can take the most mundane of scenes and make you want to know more. Simply amazing. I could relate to the main character relatively quickly, even though I didn't necessarily sympathize with him. And there was a point midway through the book where I really felt like I was getting something from it. One of those life messages kind of things. I learned a lot from this book, and I intend to reread it. Wow, so he's kind of looking at this book kind of like some type of life lesson. Maybe he made a mistake, and it's kind of giving him the answers to his mistake. What'd you say about that review?
Well, that I read that this morning, and I was like, oh, that made my morning. Yeah. So basically, that's basically what I was going for. Just basically, you know, giving, you know, the life lesson on, you know, on both sides, basically. Because, okay, I'll go ahead and just do a quick summary without giving everything away. Okay.
Right, yeah, okay. Well, hold on. Let me read this last one, and then we're going to start talking about your characters, okay? Without you giving away the book. That's all. That's the magic formula. Talk about the characters. Great story. 4 stars. Vicky. The story was very powerful and moving. I was totally drawn into it. It had a very good moral. It had very good moral at the end of it. The only thing I can say that need improvement is the grammar. Okay, she had a little problem there. Some words seem to be having been a little autocorrected or whatever. So okay, so she had a little issue with that. But she said, other than that, good luck with future writing endeavors. I look forward to reading more from you. So you didn't lose her. She still gave you 4 stars. She gave you a little, you know, question, you know, something to look into the next time, even though you were published. A lot of times we do expect the publisher to take care of that part for us. All right. 5 stars. This was a great start for a new writer. Couldn't put it down. Can't wait for the next one. Awesome by Gloria. Gloria said, we were well, nice start, Miss Blue. This book had me crazy. I really relate to Hope. When a person gets tired, they tired. That person named Cyrus was a very unhappy man. First of all, he didn't love himself. He had everything right at home. I am so glad that the rest learned from him. Great job, and I look forward to reading more from you. All right. She loved it. Now, they really into Cyrus. Something about hope. He was feeling hope. All right, let's talk about hope. How you develop hope? Why you develop hope?
Okay. Yeah, Cyrus and Hope, they're the two. Well, actually, the main character is Cyrus. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cyrus and Hope, they're a young couple, mid to late 20s. They're living together. They love each other, but they're having some problems. Hope, she's had a painful past with, well, I'll just brief you without really giving anything away. The key thing is that, okay, she's kind of insecure and has slight self-esteem issues. Mm-hmm. The main problem, the main reason is because her past with men isn't exactly very award-winning. Yeah, so I'll just put it that way. Mm-hmm. And her and Cyrus, they're a couple. First, everything was great. Everything was good. He, you know, he treated her well. She loves him unconditionally, 100% ride or die loyalty and everything. And then the problem started. Well, they were living together, and Hope loses her job. She's basically, in a deep depression and basically just hanging on to, kind of clinging to Cyrus to a point that it's getting kind of annoying. And then she feels like he's thinking the worst of her and everything. And then he's getting tired of the clinginess, the jealousy, insecurities, and all that. But he's still keeping her around because, he says he loves her. He appreciates the unconditional 100% love and loyalty she gives, and plus, things in the bedroom are great. And and then, he's at the end of his rope and stuff. He runs into an old college classmate. Her name is Ivy. She's an older, mature woman, mid-40s, but, still, looks good or whatever. And basically, she's a developed businesswoman, mature, easy to talk to. They start building a friendship. So basically, he's admiring her because she's all the things he wished Hope was.
Right.
Basically.
But then you know what? When you started this story, you had Dr. Braxton sitting there talking to Robin, and Robin had the exact same problem that Dr. Braxton's buddy had, right?
Yeah. This is Dr. Braxton telling him this story about his friend. So that's basically what that is. Yeah.
Right. Now Robin had the same issue, right? Robin said he had a girl. He wished his girl was like the one that he admired so much. So I guess it was an older woman. Is that right?
Yeah.
And that's when Dr. Braxton said, "Hey, I got my college roommate, my frat brother, pretty much same situation. Similar, he said very similar dilemma. The woman that for keeps is not really the one you want to keep now because you're seeing something better now. Now guys get like this sometimes. You know how women always say why guys take so long to make their proposal, pop their question. I don't know, somewhere in the back of our mind, we still think there's something out there that's better. I mean, it's not like we're saying we're settling for you, but it's like we just feel like, you guys always talk about soulmates. You always feel like that one that's going to feel like your best friend, the one you can tell everything, the one you want to share the rest of your life with, you're not going nowhere with. You still think she's out there, It's in the back of your mind, if that one is not behind your door right now, you see, and that's what's going on with these guys. Now, how you develop, Cyrus and Robin to think like that being a woman? That's what I want to ask you. That's my question. How you do that?
Basically, just observing. It was, saying that, how some people say, oh, I, love what I have, but, is it worth all the drama and trouble to, maintain it? Like, okay, later on down the line, we can, fix it, whatever, because, let's keep it 100. All relationships are not perfect. They're going to be problems. But what if the problems get so intense that you're just like, forget it, I'm leaving, or, okay, this person who I'm, getting closer to is all the things that I don't have at home, but, okay. Basically, it's this way in the lesson. Okay, Hope has something that he likes that Ivy doesn't have, and vice versa. So basically, later on, that's how the affair starts and all of that. So basically, he wants to have his cake and eat it too. Basically,
that's right. Right, because he wished they were just wrapped up in the one woman, and his problem would be solved, right?
Yes, and when you read the book later on, that that doesn't happen, it actually ends up getting worse. And worse is an understatement if you read it. So
yeah, but you know, your character Hope, she had too many problems. She had a lot of baggage for me to even consider going that far with her. I could make her a chum. I mean, she was bad the way you wrote her. It sounded like a really attractive woman, but she had too much baggage that I know would come up later in life as an issue. And sometimes guys have a way of measuring how much they can handle. That's what you're kind of thinking, in the back of your mind. Especially guys that are career-minded. They know they're going to be spending a lot of time with their career, a lot of times at the office, or if they have children, they want to spend, they don't have time to be fooling around with this baggage. Sometimes you can handle a little bit of it, but she had a lot. It was kind of scary. Look, Blue, her baggage was kind of scary. You gave her a lot of baggage. It was like 20 suitcases of it. So why so many problems? Why you give her so many?
Well, basically, I wanted to show that despite all of her baggage or whatever, she's ready to love. She hasn't given up on the whole happily ever after thing, and she thought she found that with Cyrus because, in the beginning, she never thought that he would, cheat on her, but then all of the problems and all of that happened. But basically, you are right about one thing. Okay, yes, everybody's going to have problems. Everybody has baggage and everything. Some, larger than heavier than others. But basically, that's why you should, when you go through these things, I guess in the last relationship or whatever, just instead of jumping into another one with the baggage, just do what you can to, unload the baggage, like, go to therapy, get time for yourself, just work on you first. Fix yourself first before you, consider being in a new relationship, not just hop on another one 5 minutes later. That's a recipe ready to have.
That's right. Yeah. And you brought up something that was pretty interesting. In fact, somebody with, the problems that she has, a lot of it's swept under the carpet, but, it's surfacing because she has had so much happen to her. It's like you can't forget that kind of stuff. Now, all that said, she would need professional help, a psychiatrist to help her recover from her problems. Now life coaches are really, really popular right now. People using them to help, cope with different situations in life and building their self-esteem, empowering themselves. Would that help Hope? Would she need a lot more? Or both?
Yes, that would help. But at the end of the day, you can't make somebody, get help. They would have to, get that on their own. They would have to make that decision themselves. Like Pierce, which is Cyrus's cousin. That's my favorite character in the book, Pierce.
Who's that?
Pierce is the one who he's Cyrus's older cousin. He's the one who's married with 2 children. He was the one who, back in the day in his younger years, he kept cheating on his wife, Amanda. She kept forgiving him. But then one day she was like, okay, forget it. I'm leaving you. I'm taking the kids and leaving you. And that's when he was like, wait a minute, I got to clear up I'm about to lose my family. So that's why he worked as hard as he did to try to get his family back, and now he's the ideal husband. And through the whole book, you'll see that he's trying to help Cyrus, try to give him good advice to, hey, you have a good woman, don't mess it up. Everybody has problems, and, don't be a fool, or, or try to, fix the mess he got himself into before it's too late,
Is that kind of common? I was saying, is that common that, a woman like her could be very forgiving of Pierce and say, hey, you know what, you did it twice. I'm the fool, but I'm going to give you another chance. And then finally he's okay because he's over that now. He doesn't need any more of that in his life. He found something else to sustain him. Is that what happened? He found something to sustain him, or he just matured in his relationship finally?
Pierce.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, he matured.
That's good. All right, Cynthia Blue, look like we out of time, my friend. I enjoyed those first 2 chapters, and I'm assuming that, judging by your readers, that they enjoyed the book just as much. So, hey, just keep pushing that baby. Do what you're doing. I think a book like that, and I think, we talked about it a little bit last night. We was inboxing you that we thought that a book like that would be worth you pushing some YouTube videos. You still entertaining that, because it's a good book. I like the way it was written. What was you?
Yeah. Thinking about it, that's something to think about.
It takes time.
Yes, but like I said, I'm open to it.
That's right. You gotta get out there with, people, you don't want to keep doing. I know some of the people are very successful with what they're doing. They got these campaigns going on so strong on social media. Some of those people are pinning their books up on Pinterest and getting mad sales. So it does take a lot of time. It's about grinding, really. There's no easy formula to social media and moving products. You just have to be at the right place at the right time. It's a lot of books out there when they recommend when to start pushing campaigns and, all kinds of advice out there. We just got to try them all, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, look, is there anything you'd like to say to our listening audience? We're about to close the show out. And like I said, I appreciate you being here on Jerry Royce Live with me.
Well, just come out, support, read the lesson. I trust you will not be disappointed, and me and my magic wand will have more to come. So.
All right. That's right.
So be ready. Just be ready.
That's right. Be ready, y'all. She coming. That was just her first book, and I thought it was really good. So keep doing what you're doing, Cynthia Blue. We're your friend out there. So anytime, you take care of yourself. I'm Jerry Royce Live on positive-powell21.org. Thank you for listening, everybody. Keep checking us out on replay. We got a lot of good shows out there. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend. This is Jerry Royce. Hold the line, Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on. Hold the line.
Positive-powell21.org, Internet Radio.
That's right, everybody. Feed your mind good stuff and listen to positive-powell21.org with Jerry Royce Live. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Peace. Hold on.